For the first time ever, our airport is the third busiest airport in the world. The world. We've never been close to that.
And boy, those passengers are getting treated to something special. Construction at the airport has created a maze where the prize at the end is making your flight on time. This past weekend, they were telling people to avoid driving to the airport because they ran out of parking with 2 lots closed. And the security lines sometimes. Oofda.
And it's no doubt that we are going through a bit of a rough patch and it's difficult right now.
Stacey Stegman speaks for DIA. She'll tell you some of the problems are just issues the rest of the world is facing right now, like a staffing shortage. But the other stuff, it's because DIA is growing.
And I know that we've seen the good old days of the airport when everything was grand and gorgeous. We didn't have the passenger traffic that we had today, so we're having to adapt.
Question is, will the growing pains impact the airport's brand?
And when they get done with it, within 20 minutes, no one's going to remember the construction.
Mike Boyd is a longtime airline industry analyst.
Consumers, including moi, we have the attention span of a rhesus monkey. We go through here now and say it was terrible. 6 months from now, when it's done, we don't remember any of it.
Boyd is a self-proclaimed critic of DIA. He told me Federico Pena doesn't send him Christmas cards for some of the things he said about the airport over the years. But he says this short-term mess will be worth it.
I would maintain it is hard to get around sometimes, trying to figure out where you are and where you're going and whatnot. But still, the fact is they're doing this because in 2 years we'll have an airport that the rest of the world will be coming to look at.
And in the meantime, DIA is asking for something that's often in short supply during air travel: patience.
And all I can say to people is this is short term. We're going to make it better. We're going to fix the problems that we're experiencing.
Stegman told me they are working as hard as they can right now to try to get people hired and get the airport running the way it ought to be. But this sudden demand is really crunching the airport that's already crippled by the construction. She says that they're also looking at changing the onboarding process for shuttle drivers to try to ease that parking problem. And in a few weeks, they expect to take down those temporary walls in the Great Hall as the phase 1 of this construction starts to kind of roll back and start the next phase, which will be a lot less invasive. I talked to Boyd, other analysts today, who both said the same thing, that people just have this short-term memory, that this will likely be something that we gripe about now, but in a few years we'll be like, hey, look at how nice the airport is.
I suppose until the spaceport opens to passengers, then we're just still going to be going to DIA. Yeah. But it's like anything else. You build it for a certain time and place and a certain number of people, then times change and groups of people change.
Yeah, think about it. DIA is built for air transportation in the 1990s. It's 2020 now. It's an airport built for 50 million people. They got 69 million in 2019. So they've got to make a much bigger airport to accommodate all those people, plus to change the way that we board flights. Think about it. You don't go to a ticket counter and get a ticket anymore.
Yeah.
Everything's on the cell phone, so they need all that space for ticket counters. They really don't.
All right, we're going to fix the airport. We're going to get the hot cookies back on Frontier flights, and air travel will be good again. Thank you, Steve.
For free, or do we have to pay for it?
You're going to have to pay for the hot cookies.